Hey, Anuki here. If you'd like more co-games, show your support on Twitch or join the Discord. Now Jenkins, introduce the commanders, please.
Righto, Inuki. First off, let's tip our hats to our mates on the Allied side. We've got Commander Calyon at the helm of the US forces, donned in dazzling red, starting to the west. Now, I remember one time in Nam when our lad Calyon single-handedly evacuated an entire village while carrying a koala under one arm. Daring? Absolutely. On the Axis side, it's a different kettle of fish. Over in the east we have that rascal, Water. He's painted in blue, leading the Wehrmacht. I tell ya, Water is a bit of a handful. Tried to start a snowball fight in the Sahara once. Ludicrous. That day, unfortunately, we lost our precious supply of ice cream in the process.
No.
How did ice cream get to the desert, you ask?
Yes.
Well, those are the mysteries of war. Best prepare yourselves, as this is promising to be quite the tussle.
I'm sorry, you've started talking about ice cream in the desert and being a mystery that I completely forgot the ludicrous thing that you said before. Oh yeah, how did they have a flashback to Nam? People in World War II were not having flashbacks to Nam. That's not happened yet. Hashtag save the koalas. Okay, got it. Ah, my God. What a day. Okay, I think we're gonna get rid of the custom mode so we can have the chat in the top right. Like,
I think New Jenkins has also been tapping into the cocaine German chocolate.
yeah, maybe.
Vietnam and koala bears are in the future.
Wait, koala bears as well? They just evolved at that moment in time. Righto, righto. Whatever you say. Oh, I guess we have to have the custom mode back on because we can't not have that. So we'll put the chat down here. In fact, we'll just turn the chat off. Bye. It's gone. Right then. Like I say, it's a very casual day of casting this, so we can mess around with all the interface elements we want and look professional. Ha ha ha! Into the building we go. Water occupying the middle of the map for, well, very briefly, now falling back. It's just one rifleman squad. What are we afraid of? Get into the cover. You can see, though, just out of range, trying to tinker with that range. Grenadiers fare better at long range, so this is ideal for them, but there was damage, like, done prior to this, so that's got to factor into things as well. They get the first kill. That's first blood. More Grenadiers on their way. 3 Pioneers start, by the way. It's going to help capture some of the map. We have Airborne selected for Calyon. We have the Pathfinders out here. Opposite sides of the map to try and capture. Pathfinders are very good at capturing territory. They capture swift and quickly. They mean the same thing. We're assuming Jenkins doesn't possess the ability for time travel because that seems like an insanely hard thing to do. But on the other hand, it's entirely possible that AI Jenkins is AI. It just makes random crap up. Speaking of which, Jenkins, do you have any interesting stories of your times in Villa Fiore? No doubt he probably does, we'll see. In the meantime, look at this! Everyone is just hanging out in mid. No windows on this side of the building, that's a very important factor. Also, no windows on this side of the buildings, just in case you think I was tricking you. Allies holding down the fort, and by that I mean 3-story
Villa Fiore, now that takes me back. Our commanding officer, Brigadier Stewart, chose yours truly for a mission of utmost importance here.
Yeah, go on,
Our
man.
goal. Not quite the traditional sort of operation, I assure you. It was in the dead of night when we stormed that hill, past the 3 sedans arranged like some posh motor show. Our mission? To snatch those barrels of top-shelf Italian red hidden up there. We were certain those Jerrys had their sights on them. Meandering through the enemy lines with naught but a corkscrew, we finally secured the prize. Imagine our surprise when they were filled with vinegar. Played a right corker on our morale, that did, I can tell you. Still, nothing a good belly laugh couldn't fix. Now let's get back to the battlefield, eh, chaps?
Yeah, I suppose. Let's get back to the battlefield rather than your stories. Well, going for the cutoff point. Always an effective strategy. But now they have to deal with 3 squads of grenadiers. I don't like those odds. In any case, though, they do manage to accomplish the goal that they were ordered to do. And now it's a long retreat back to base. But that's fine, though, like, because we have to recapture all of this territory. You know, the more of your enemy's territory that you capture, the more time that they have to spend before they get back to the front lines of war. We have a medical station going down. Now, I've not mentioned this already for the new players out there. This is going to go out and recover fallen comrades on the battlefield. When they get brought back to this medic station, they'll essentially have a free reinforcement cost. So when you come back to base with a squad that doesn't have full members, it costs a little bit of manpower to reinforce. But that'll be free if there's a casualty that has been recouped from the grounds. Anywhere on the all. I think they do have a range, but it's a pretty big range.
Territories are shifting in great volume so quickly.
Yeah, that can happen. And then, followed by war. So you can see we've got a big spacing out here, but anytime there's an engagement like, you know, something like here, you could always divert your soldiers to come and reinforce. So you might pull these guys over here. That's a huge plus in terms of having field presence and staying in the field. No, Mao, it's not Smite, a top-down RTS. So there is a beginner tips video that I made that's been viewed quite a lot. I'm very happy to see. Where we talk about like the starting opening, and it just talks about like the general overall positioning of your units on the strategy map. And that's kind of what you got to think about. Like anytime there's an engagement, always think about what other units you could bring into that engagement. Because if they're too far apart, if you've got like units on the far left and the far right side of the map, they can't help each other. But if you've got units, say, in the middle of the map and on the right-hand side of the map, then, yeah, they could potentially help each other. So try not to have units that are, like, just stranded out there in the open. Tight formations, but not grouped on top of each other. So great positioning here from the Grenadiers. The Riflemen, just by themselves, cannot possibly hope to contend. A lot of infantry on the field all around, and it's about time that we start seeing the players get their teching up. We got a weapon support center out here, and as for our access, we do have the Panzer Grenadier Company, which can bring in all of these lovely units here. We've got Panzer Grenadier squads, we've got Pack 40s, we've got a medium carrier. Oh, I'd like to see one of those again, please. We've not seen some of those units just yet today, and I am missing it. If anyone's got any information on those units, I'd love to know. Maybe you do, Wadder. I'm gonna love a lovely cup of tea. Nom, nom. It gets cold so quickly. I don't have my metal mug anymore. It got broken. Oh, you don't want to spoil the game. No, I just want to know about like if carriers are used.
There's so much infantry in the center.
Excellent casting there, Matty. There is. You do not tell lies. There's also quite a few troops back here as well that need to get back out into the field. The quicker you send them out, the more field presence you have, the more territory you conquer. Water, making sure to send some pioneers just to test the waters. See if they are defending that territory. You never know when someone isn't looking. So you prod and poke, and you never know, you might get yourself an extra plus 10 munitions.
Enemy forces have claimed our territory.
4 Grenadier squads out here in force. I hear mines being blown up.
These casting
Not sure it was
skills
here.
are why my friends call me the fishing wizard.
Anti-tank gun and crew are ready for
Brilliant.
orders.
Let's could be a painful retreat for this Pioneer squad, though. Being farmed for veterancy. Gonna escort them all the way back to base. Will they take some losses?
Like these soldiers are about to bring fireballs of their own.
I think one more would be respectable. Oh, here we go. Moving riflemen's with bars as well. Wipes the squad. No more Pioneers. They risked it for one of those +10 biscuits. Captain Retinue is in trouble as well. They're going to be in the retreat path of a Grenadier squad. When you stop moving your soldiers, by the way, they are more accurate. So, I am told. I believe that because I do it. And all my learning comes from what I've heard. We're seeing the Stug again. A Stug D with a total squad. Let's go. Oh yeah, can drive through bushes as well. Yippee! And you can ride the tanks, Matty. I'm sure you'll like that. Thanks for the follow, Zap Zappers. Oh, it's like active camouflage. Jenkins, I just saw Water driving their Stug D through a bush, making it incredibly camouflaged. How would you deal with that?
Territory sector lost.
I'm testing Jenkins, by the way. I want to know how Jenkins handles this situation. Oh, this is going to hurt. Oh, well played to Calyon, getting outside of the building before that blew up.
I love it when infantry can combine with other elements.
Yes.
That's awesome.
We have vehicles ready to be deployed.
I don't see the infantry riding tanks enough.
Ah, the Stug D. Quite the pesky bugger in the hands of our Axis comrades. I remember one time outside the gates of Rome, one of them nearly took my eyebrows off. But fear not, mate. We've got a trick or two up our sleeves. First, we had to locate the blighter, and for that we used the oldest trick in the book, a good old sheep. That's right. I don't think I've seen a Stug D that could resist chasing a fluffy lamb. Once we led it out into the open, a few well-placed shots from our trusty Shermans, and the thing was belly up. A smidge cuckoo, you might think, but worked like a charm. Just goes to show, even the toughest nut can be cracked with a bit of British ingenuity and a confused sheep. Let's see how our boys handle it now. Yeah?
I think we're kind of getting mixed up a little bit with the possibly Age of Empires. That poor sheep. But there you go. I mean, I would go with what Calyon is doing, which is bringing a 75mm gun motor carriage. God, that was a hard one to say. It was weird seeing it trying to flank, but okay. I mean, it didn't get destroyed in the process, so fine with that, I guess. In the meantime, though, that infantry is getting quite buggered. I think we probably want to be seeing some of that around this M3. Because... Oh, they've just all retreated, actually. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's the AT gun, the Pak-40. If they can chase this down, potentially, they could steal the Pak. Not much infantry around here. They're going for it. Here we go, here we go. Here's the defensive force. Stormtroopers. And I think a Grenadier squad with Vet 2 on them. Followed by even more Grenadiers, followed by Pioneers, and Stug D. Still getting some repairs. M3 trying to snipe infantry. It's not too good at that. Keeping out of range of the Pak-40, though. Ooh. Moves into range, takes a shot. Stug D just fine, though. It's coping. It's whatever, though, because territory is being held in the middle. Got the 2 victory points. About to lose it, though. It's all about the victory points. But you need fuel and munitions to actually hold on to those. Water moves up. Gonna grab that ground. And then I'm interested to see what the battle plan, the offensive battle plan is going to be. Thank you for the follow, Arakash. I think Calyon might struggle here. We do have the M1 anti-tank gun as well. Nothing that a Stug D can't take a good shot at. If it has a gander at that, kills 2 crew. We're only one person away from decrewing that whole thing. And it's not too much good. Everyone's taking their battle positions. We've got some high ground advantage that could be taken if we move these troops behind the wall.
Ironically enough, the center of the map is also the center of attention.
Absolutely is. I mean, it's a fairly common strategy that the center of the map will be of importance. Like I mentioned, like the positioning, the global positioning. Oh, what a wipe! Jenkins! I just saw Water's Stormtrooper squad wipe a whole rifle squad with a flurry of grenades. What do you think of that?
Assault gun is reporting for duty.
I want to know. AT gun pulled back. Got a bit of damage down on the Stug, but nothing that can be capitalized on right now. We are pinned in the base. Like I said, Calyon's attack strategy felt like it was going to be fairly weak with the resources that they have, the tools at hand.
That's a ticklish one. Now let me be clear, stormtroopers are a force to be reckoned with. But you see, I reckon they're just a gaggle of show-offs. Fancy throwing their little poppers left and right. No sense of sport, our Berlin buddies. But let's not despair, my good man. Our allied commander, Calyon, is a tough cookie. From what I heard, stormtroopers couldn't handle a good Scrabble match, let alone a proper firefight. Let's see if our good lad can turn the tables. Maybe he'll turn Water's little Wehrmacht into a nice steam bath. Fourth quarter comeback. Just you watch.
Okay.
We have vehicles ready to be
It still looks tricky, though. They are pushing outside of their
Mr.
base.
General, there is a second Stug.
There is a second Stug. And they're hunkering down as well for that increased range. One's at a very weird angle. It's fine. It can fire like that. That must be so hard to aim if you're like that.
received. Enemy is down to 200 points.
Back in the base they go. Jenkins, it seems like Water has Calyon pinned inside of their base. They can't leave their headquarters. Any idea on what they should do?
Blue is really pushing red to their limits.
I think they're going to get pushed past their limits right now. They have to group up and find a way to force a victory somewhere. Any kind of minor victory.
Ah, the old siege the base tactic. Takes me back to Istanbul 44.
Oh god, here we
We found
go.
ourselves up the Bosphorus without a paddle. Water's trying to be a slippery eel, isn't he? But our commander Calyon shouldn't lose his bottle. It's not all 6s and 7s. All he needs to do is drop a couple of paratroopers behind the enemy lines, diverting attention, then take his Shermans for a bit of a Sunday drive. Water would be running around like a headless chicken, mark my words. So chin up, Calyon. You've got grit in your gut and tenacity in your bones. Make the Queen proud. There's still plenty of fight left in this old dog. Mon the Allies.
Alright, they're going to try and like explore this side of the base, see if they can get out. But Water has repositioned everything in response. And look at the defensive line. It's great. Artillery being flung both ways. M3 half-track trying to pick out wherever that AT gun is.
The enemy has taken a victory point.
Calyon's infantry in force, moving down the southern border. Grenade thrown. Great grenade. No casualties, but huge damage from it. Grenades being returned in kind. Just hovering outside of the range of the Stugs, though. We managed to force one Grenadier squad back, but this other Grenadier squad, Ved 3 behind heavy cover? No troubles whatsoever. The counterattack to try and get outside their base is in vain again. You can see still a very hearty Axis force with nothing really touching these Stugs. And I think the Stugs are going to try and actually contend with the M3 now. It's a mighty blow. Another mighty blow. We just need one more mighty blow. Don't think they're going to go for it, though. Still good, because they have to sit there and repair that M3. That M3 now is effectively out of the fight. It cannot do anything until it is repaired by this one lonely sapper. Resources are not looking good. Water, on the other hand, floating 660 manpower, 280 munitions, 270 fuel. Getting pretty close to the population cap as well. All kinds of good things that you can do with that. We've got a Pathfinder squad just randomly out here. Are they going to try and score themselves a heavy machine gun team?
Makes them look like a prime target for bombing. Given how blue is such a huge point lead, I think it's over for red.
Oh, you're just being pessimistic. Small victories. Got that heavy machine gun team. Doesn't matter that it could be recruit. Loses the Pathfinder squad. Calyon has surrendered. My god.
Hey, Vivi here. I edit and upload the videos here on Ironcast. If you want to see Anuki cast more, then like the video, leave a comment, subscribe, come along to the Discord, do anything to let him know. Anuki would love to cast more if you'd like to see more.